that's what you need, no, to be able to identify the goal and use of anti-neoplastic agents, as well as define their goals, no, and the role uh, as to the use of your cancer chemotherapy agents, no. Cell cycle kinetics is important, no. So you would know in combination therapy, no, why we combine a cell cycle and then better combine it with the cell cycle specific, better combine it with the cell cycle non-specific agents, no. Okay. So there are a lot of chemotherapy agents, but not all of them are used for all types of cancers, no. There are particular chemo cancer or chemotherapy agents that will be better used for a particular type of cancer, so you have to know their clinical use. Sometimes they're also used for non-malignant indications, no, and then contraindications as well. You may be given a scenario on a particular kind of cancer, and you'll be asked to choose what chemotherapy would be best, or will be given a scenario on side effects and then identify the kind of chemotherapy agents that you that was used, no. Okay. And then the mechanism of resistance, you'd be asked about that. Also factors regarding selection. Okay. So, okay. Yeah. And in the end, you have to know the principles of chemotherapy, particularly the combination chemotherapy. Why do we usually give combination chemotherapy? And then, before giving a chemotherapy agent, there will be parameters that you need to accomplish, no, in order to see whether your patient is qualified to receive a chemotherapy agent. Okay, so let's start with the possible causes of cancer. It is said to be genetically inclined, no, like for the lineage of breast, colon, and ovarian. No, usually if you're positive for BRCA in that particular clan, no, they may have breast, colon, and ovarian CA. Remember Angelina Jolie? Diba? She had bilateral, no, prophylactic bilateral oophorectomy because I think she was positive for the BRCA gene. No? Environmental exposure, when we had the lecture on toxicology, exposure to asbestos, particularly in an individual who is a smoker, the risk for lung cancer increases. Benzene itself, no, used in farms, no, can increase the risk for, and gasoline, no, lymphomas and leukemias. And remember, exposure to plastic, BPAs, these are endocrine disruptors and may increase the risk for breast cancer. Diet, if you have increased alcohol consumption, no, you may not just develop liver cancer but also oral cancer. And then they're saying na viruses, no. Remember, cervical cancer is caused by what virus?
HPV.
Yes, correct. Human papilloma virus. No, it's caused by human papilloma virus. Hepatocellular cancer is caused by hepatitis B, particularly with chronic infection. So these are the causes. Now, in terms of cancer treatment, depends on the kind of cancer. Usually for solid tumors like in gynecologic malignancies, ovarian, uterine, breast, now, surgery is the primary treatment, not unless it's at the advanced stage, because if it's in the advanced stage and it is not operable already, chemotherapy becomes the primary treatment, no. For malignancies, blood malignancies, no, like leukemia, lymphoma, chemotherapy is the first line agent, no. So it depends, no, what kind of cancer and what stage the patient is in, no, to be able to determine the primary treatment. But for this, for yung hormone therapy, hindi ko na rin masyado i-discuss. Some of them will be discussed when you go to the second SEM for the repro agents, no. Most famous among the hormone therapy is tamoxifen for estrogen receptor positive breast tumors. Okay, yan. Sige. So the therapeutic goal of your cancer chemotherapy agents is to kill the tumor cells. The ideal goal is selectivity for the tumor cells. So it will not produce side effects, but this does not happen in real life because the cancer chemotherapy agents does not delineate from between malignant and normal cells. No, it's used for the treatment of systemic diseases. These are the goals which we'll be discussing in the next slide. No, and then we are going also giving chemotherapy agents because we want to decrease the tumor burden and to treat. No, and the use of these agents has a goal. No, the goal could be to promote cure or curative. If we're using the chemotherapy for this goal, no, this means we want to obtain remission. And when you say remission, you want to increase the disease-free survival rate for that particular patient. When you say adjuvant, additional treatment. For example, you had the primary therapy surgery and then you're adding up chemotherapy because it's in a quite advanced stage and you want to improve the chances for cure, or you want to prolong the period of disease-free survival, ideally with no detectable cancer. But if your goal is just to alleviate symptoms, like in cases of advanced or metastatic breast cancer that has already metastasized to the bone that causes so much pain, and your goal is only to relieve pain with little expectation to promote complete remission, your only goal for giving chemotherapy would be through palliation. Okay? Now, actually, the role or use of chemotherapy would almost be the same with its goal. O magtatanong na lang ako ha. Let's say your patient has hematologic malignancy, leukemia, and the chemotherapy will be the one used for treatment. What would be the role or use of chemotherapy among the four? Balisong, Rylina. If your patient has leukemia, hematologic malignancy, and you will be using the chemotherapy to promote cure, what would be the role of chemotherapy among the four that we have here?
Doc, I think primary induction.
Yes, primary induction, correct. Thank you. Now, primary induction, no? Also for advanced solid tumors, which I mentioned earlier, when no alternative treatment exists, example, you cannot do surgery anymore, no? But here, you would want to avail of its curative effect, no? Like in advanced metastatic diseases as well, no? Okay? Or let's say, CT scan or MRI revealed that there's a large tumor, probably colonic, no, in nature, and it seems to be adherent to a lot of tissues, no, inside the abdomen, no. Okay. They just did, no, there's a technology now, not like for gynecologic cancer, no, yung TrueCut, no. But let's say they just did biopsy and was not able to remove the bulk of the tumor. The surgeon decided to give chemotherapy first. Then after 3 cycles, we'll go back to do the surgery. What would be the role of chemotherapy? Calo, Emmanuel.
Doc, is it neoadjuvant?
Yes, neo means no, prior, no. So you'll be giving, thank you, that's correct, no. So you'll be giving chemotherapy first before rendering the primary therapy, no. Let's say your patient has cervical cancer and it's already stage 2B. When it's stage 2B and higher, you will not go for surgery anymore. The primary treatment for cervical cancer is surgery if it's up to 2B, 2A. But this is stage 2B. So the surgeon decides to go to just do radiation therapy. But according to literatures, if you give cisplatin, which is a cancer chemotherapy, it increases the sensitivity of the tumor cells to radiation. What would be the role of chemotherapy there? Shing Leslie.
Doc, adjuvant chemotherapy
Mm,
or concurrent?
yun, concurrent, no? You're giving it concurrent. The chemotherapy is given concurrent with radiation. Ang example nun, on weekdays, they do radiation. Then on weekends, as radiation. But the main therapy there is radiation. The role of cisplatin is just to increase the sensitivity of the tissues. We've discussed adjuvant already, right? Now, when you already did the bulking of the tumor, like through surgery, and then or radiation yung primary, and then you added chemotherapy. No, again, your goal is to improve disease-free and overall survival. Okay. So these are the effects, no, that we want to achieve, no, for the tumors to respond to chemotherapy, but that does not happen all the time because there are mechanisms of resistance that the tumor has. Yan, like drug resistance, no. That's why the tumor does not respond. Sometimes that you cannot eradicate the tumor completely because of this central hypoxic zone, which the chemotherapy agent does not usually penetrate. No? Some may need active immune system like the use of targeted therapy like yung mga tyrosine kinase inhibitor, vascular endothelial growth factor inhibitors, no, and CD20, yung rituximab. The consideration that you have to also think of is the log cell kill, which we will go to a little later. And then the whether it is a cycling or a an agent that acts on cycling or non-cycling cells. No? So, in terms of the kinetics, no, of the anti-cancer agents, cell cycle kinetics of these anti-cancer agents, no, there are two things that we could also consider. One is the exponential growth of that tumor, no, and how much of the cancer cells could be killed by the chemotherapy agents, no? Okay, that will involve your log cell kill. And then the Norton-Simon, no, theory that involves the Compertchan model for tumor growth. Let's start with log cell kill. When you say log cell kill, a particular dose of the drug could only kill a certain or a constant fraction of the cells. Not a constant number, but constant fraction. No? So, which means the bigger the tumor, no, the larger the fraction of the cancer cells that could be killed. But to a certain point, may maximum point yan. That's why if you look at the picture here, no, for example, you have a solid tumor and you only did chemotherapy kasi advanced stage na, it will take a longer while before you will actually kill a significant portion of the tumor cells. Not, there's no such thing as 100% kill, no? But if a solid tumor was debulked or removed by surgery, it will take a shorter, no, period for you to give the chemotherapy. This is also the reason why chemotherapy agents are given for several cycles. Because yun nga, at a particular time, at a particular dose, there's only a certain fraction that it could kill. No? So, yan. And the thing here is you have to follow a schedule. if the chemotherapy is recommended to be given every 3 to 4 weeks, you must give it every 3 to 4 weeks so as not to waste the cell kill that you were able to achieve in the previous chemotherapy. So when we say log cell kill, this is the first order relationship to drug concentration. Wherein the same fraction, ulitin ko ha, the same fraction of cells are killed with each dose. And that a series of several doses here does not really achieve 100% kill. Kaya meron kang ina-advise sa pasyente or when you counsel the patient, you tell them there's the risk of having recurrence or relapse of the malignancy. So for class, do you have any questions?
And so far po, Doc.
Okay. Can some of you open your cameras para hindi ko naman feel na mag-isa ako? Kung pwede naman. So I can see your beautiful faces. Yan. Okay. So yan ha. Hindi ba sabi ko sa inyo, if this is the case, log cell kill, no? Constant fraction will be killed, no? At a particular dose, which means the bigger the cancer cell, the greater the fraction, right? Right? But that's not the case if the tumor is approximately 1/3 of its maximum size. Why? Because if the tumor achieved this size already, the growth fraction peaks. And if it grows larger than that, larger than 1/3 of its maximum size, no, as in advanced cancer stages or the advanced tumor stages, the growth fraction phase will be low. And the problem is most of your chemotherapy agents attack the cancer cells in their growth fraction phase. So if the tumor is very large, the fraction of cells killed will be therefore small. Okay? No, it slows down, bumabagal, no? Yung tumor killing if the cancer cells, if the tumor is actually very large, no? About more than 1/3 of its maximum size. Because as it reaches 1/3 of its maximum size, the growth fraction peaks. And beyond that, the growth fraction decreases. Since we're already talking about growth fraction, let's go now to cell cycle kinetics. No? This is a conceptual depiction of cell cycle phases at all cells, whether normal or neoplastic. They must traverse these phases before enduring cell division. If you notice, there are percentages here. No, the percentages given here represents the approximate percentage of time spent in each phase by a typical malignant cell. So which means they stay longer in the G1 phase. Very, very short for the resting phase. So when you talk about G0 here, no, this would be the phase wherein the cells are not actively dividing. And most chemotherapy agents will not be acting on those cells in the G0 phase. When we say G1, this is when enzymes and proteins required for DNA replication are being synthesized, so that they could go to the synthesis phase wherein replication of DNA occurs. Sorry, nakalimutan ko ulit i-type. Kahapon sinabi ko na to eh. Yung G2. The G2 in the middle pala. After S phase, may G2. Ito. G2 is the pre-meiotic synthesis phase. This is where structural development occurs. And once the cell goes to the M phase, this is the beginning of, it begins with metaphase, no? This is where anaphase and telophase occurs. Now, the M phase is when mitosis or cell division occurs, when they proliferate, no? And when you say growth fraction, it is computed as the total number of cells from G1 to M divided by the total number of cells from G0 to M phase. So when you say growth fraction, it is computed as the total number of cells in the growth phase from G1 to M over the total number of cells from G0 to the M phase. Okay? Now, these are the classification of your, kailangan alam nyo to ha, the cells of the chemotherapy agents, no? When you say cell cycle, they are ending on their mechanism of action at a particular phase in the cell cycle. Most of these agents are effective for hematologic malignancies and in solid tumors in which a relatively large portion of the cells are proliferating or in the growth phase. Kasi pag sinabi mong cell cycle specific, they act on the cycling phase. They do not act on G0. Kaya nga, kung solid tumor yan, it is effective in solid tumors wherein a relatively large portion of the cells are proliferating or are in the growth phase. When you say cell cycle non-specific agent, here these agents can kill the tumors in both the resting and the cycling phases. If you notice, no, konti lang sila, no, as compared to the CCS, the cell cycle specific. No. A lot of them binds to cellular DNA, no, where they damage the macromolecule. No. So if it kills tumors in the resting and cycling phase, which means they are useful in tumors wherein a large portion of the cells are in the low growth fraction, no, phase, as well as high growth fraction phase. No, pwede sila. Okay? As I mentioned earlier, most of your chemotherapy agents act on the cycling phase. Ito, mas marami sila. Oh. So they act on cells that, particularly on cells that undergoes rapid proliferation. And they cannot delineate between normal and malignant cells. So aside from the tumor cells, they can attack the bone marrow. Kaya most of them are myelosuppressants. And then they can also attack the GI mucosal cells. That's why a lot of them could cause GI symptoms like nausea and vomiting. And remember the hair, di ba? Mabilis yung mag-proliferate, di ba? Sometimes in 4 weeks, mga 1 to 2 centimeters na yung hinaba ng hair mo, no? Because they're rapidly proliferating as well. So, because of this, since these are the kind of cells that they tend to attack, the common side effects are on these areas. Okay? So far, any questions with the first part of the principles? Iba sa dulo na eh, for application. Meron? Questions? If none, okay. So the anti-patients, no? I will not anymore talk about this hormonal treatment because you have a separate lecture on adrenocortical agents in the second sem, as well as the repro drugs wherein tamoxifen will be discussed. So hindi ko na i-discuss tong part na to. Ha? Okay, let's start with alkylating agents, no? Yan. Ito yung actually, this is the largest classification of your cancer chemotherapy agents, no? The alkylating agents. Now you have your bischloroethylamines, you have nitrosoureas, aziridines, alkyl sulfonate, and your classical alkylating agent. Alkylating agents, as the name indicates, its major interaction with the tumor cells that eventually cause cell death of that tumor. No? So how does it promote alkylation? It undergoes intramolecular cyclization to be able to form this ethylene ammonium ion. Yan, ito yung cyclization na. Okay? That may directly transfer an alkyl ion to an electron-rich site, or indirectly it may form a carbonium ion first, no? Okay, and then later transfer an alkyl group to an electrolyte, no? And eventually, due to cross-linking, abnormal base pairing, no, particularly with thiamine, or there's depurination, no, through excision of the guanine residues, okay, and eventually leads to DNA strand breakage that will ultimately cause cell death, no. The DNA strand breakage here happens through scission of the sugar phosphate backbone. Okay. So, I've already mentioned, no, depurination by excision of guanine residues, because its major site of alkylation would be the N7 position of guanine within the DNA. No? And cells susceptible to alkylation, no, are usually those cells in the G1 and S phases of the cell. Although, if they also undergo alkylation, there will be a B2. These are the other bases alkylated to a lesser degree. There are certain agents that may have guanine, but alkylation can occur in these sites as well, although as a lesser degree compared to the N7 position of guanine. Okay. Most of the effects of these alkylating agents are dose-related. So which means the higher the dose, the greater its effect on rapidly growing tissues. No? The effects are actually on the bone marrow, GIT, which means these are the first ones that will be affected. As I mentioned earlier, because the cells, no, in this system are usually rapidly growing. And in the delayed phase of its effect, it may affect the liver, kidney, and mature lymphocytes. Kaya, for example, no, after giving an alkylating agent, after 1 to 2 weeks, we check the CBC, we check the liver enzymes, no, through yung mga transaminases, and kidneys through by requesting BUN and creatinine. No. They are agents that could potentially cause nausea and agents that have a direct vesicant effect, meaning if you're giving the chemotherapy, make sure the IV line agents have a vesicant effect. The risk of secondary malignancy may also be higher, particularly with cyclophosphamide, yung transitional bladder wall cancer. As I've mentioned earlier, no, tumor cells may develop resistance towards a chemotherapy. No, particularly if the tumor has increased production of glutathione and glutathione-associated proteins, as well as the enzyme glutathione transferase that increases glutathione, no, activity. Usually kasi if the glutathione is increased, their capability to repair DNA lesions also increases. If the transport of the drug across the cells is compromised, as in, no, for that particular tumor cells, no, the transfer of the drug into the cells is reduced, no, and that's the usual mechanism of resistance for melphalan, no. Or if the active forms of these chemotherapy agents are easily metabolized, their effect may be reduced. Can I just discuss cyclophosphamide so that you'll understand how it works, no? Cyclophosphamide is actually inactive. The parent compound, cyclophosphamide, is actually inactive. And for it to be activated to its cytotoxic forms, no, this cyclophosphamide has to be acted upon by the cytochrome P450 mixed function system, oxidase system, no, wherein it will be converting, this enzyme will be converting cyclophosphamide into your 4-hydroxycyclophosphamide in equilibrium with aldophosphamide, meaning they are interconverted to each other. So there will be equal production of hydrocyclophosphamide and aldophosphamide. It is aldophosphamide, no, when acted upon by aldehyde oxidase, that gives rise to carboxyphosphamide, which is inactive. And through the non-enzymatic means, no, non-enzymatic process, it is converted to acrolein and phosphoramide. And the main effect, the cytotoxic forms are these two. Actually, the main effect of cyclophosphamide comes from this metabolite, phosphoramide mustard. These cytotoxic metabolites, the cytotoxic forms of cyclophosphamide, is only formed in cells which have low levels of aldehyde dehydrogenase. That's why to protect the cells from the effects of your alkylating agents, no, particularly cyclophosphamide, it must have high levels of aldehyde dehydrogenase, because with low levels of aldehyde dehydrogenase, ang tumor cells kasi low levels sila ng aldehyde dehydrogenase, no? That's why they may be susceptible to the phosphoramide mustard of cyclophosphamide. Okay. For mechlorethamine, which is another bischlorethylamines, this time, no, alkylation still is at N7 ito. N7 position of guanine of deoxyguanylate of 2-deoxyguanylate nucleotides, no? So ganun din. They are known as nitrogen mustard, no? Okay. So para hindi kayo mahirap, inan ko muna, hinati ko muna, no? Okay? So the same lang naman ng ifosfamide tsaka cyclophosphamide, no? If you've noticed, commonly, no, particularly chlorambucil, ifosfamide, and cyclophosphamide, they are indicated for lymphoma, no? Even for ovarian tumors, these three, no, pwede. Although ifosfamide is not that much used for ovarian, pero pwede, no? Okay? Yan, andyan naman yung indications, no? Among them, it is cyclophosphamide that can be used, no, for non-malignant indications like rheumatoid arthritis, minimal change disease, and vaginous granulomatosis. Also chlorambucil, which you can use in cases of polycythemia vera, or those in immunosuppressive, used for as immunosuppressive therapy for nephrotic syndrome. Okay? So meron din silang non-malignant indications, no? For nitrosoureas, what differentiates it from other alkylating agents is that aside from alkylation, it promotes carbamylating activities, no? Okay? This is the reason why they are non-cross resistant with other alkylating agents, because of these two processes. Okay? Although majority of the alkylations, no, okay, majority of its effect is more of alkylation, no, greater ang alkylating effect niya than the carbamylating effect, no. What's the usual target of your alkylating agents, class? Majority of alkylations happen
of guanine.
yes, N7 position of guanine, no. The same din siya, no. But there is a critical area wherein critical alkylation happens, no, and it is responsible for its cytotoxicity. That is the O6 of guanine, yung sinasabi ko kanina. Sa ibang alkylating agents, to a lesser degree siya, pero yung its alkylation at the O6 of guanine, O6 position of guanine is critical as well. And this leads to guanine cytosine crosslinks in the DNA. Eventually, the DNA strand breakage, no? So again, carbamylating activities happens to a lesser degree as compared to alkylating. Mas more of alkylating siya. These agents, no, okay, they are highly lipid soluble. Okay, that's why they can cross the blood-brain barrier. So they're good for brain tumors, no, because of this property. Look at the CNS concentration, 30 to 40% that of the plasma. Okay. Yan. So it's mainly used for brain, no, brain tumors, no. Although it can be used for multiple myeloma and lymphoma, no. Okay, streptozotocin is another agent, no, that belongs to this class. Among them, it has minimal bone marrow toxicity. It can be used for insulin-secreting islet cell carcinomas of the pancreas. No, this naman is an alkyl sulfonate, and this is busulfan. Yan. So alkylation does not only happen at the N7 of guanine, but also on the sulfhydryl groups of glutathione and protein thiols. Kaya dito sa busulfan, critical mechanism of resistance is increased levels of glutathione. Yan. Sa kanya, critical yung mechanism of resistance na yan. So, hindi naman siya masyadong clinically used, kaya binanggit ko na lang to, no? Yan. Since this agent has a major specificity for granulocyte series, no, because of that, it's mainly used for it has a very good value in the management of chronic myelogenous leukemia. It can be used as a immunosuppressant for those who receive a bone marrow transplant. Thiotepa naman is an aziridine. It's another alkylating agent under the aziridine subclass. No, ganito ko na siya discuss sa halos din na rin ito ginagamit. Okay? Under your non-classic alkylating agent will be procarbazine. No? This drug, no, has to be acted upon. Again, just like cyclophosphamide, it is inactive. Oxidase inhibiting effect. Ano nga ang monoamine oxidase? What does it metabolize? It is responsible for the degradation of Janine, kabigat. Monoamine oxidase is responsible for what? For the degradation of
Doc, catecholamines po.
Yes, correct. Catecholamines, no? So which means if it's an inhibitor, if the metabolite is a weak MAO inhibitor, thereby it may inhibit the metabolism or degradation of your catecholamines. So if you give it with sympathomimetic agents, no, tricyclic antidepressants which inhibits the reuptake of your catecholamines like norepinephrine, serotonin, an antihistamine which is anticholinergic, so greater sympathetic activity, they tend to increase the activity of these agents. Since, di ba, catecholamines promotes alertness, no, in the CNS, yan, it may produce an opposite effect to that of, so antagonistic naman siya sa CNS depressant. Remember your anti-diabetic agents, di ba? They tend to lower blood sugar. If it's a weak MAO inhibitor, so you'll have increased norepinephrine. Norepinephrine will increase beta-2 receptor activity, increase gluconeogenesis. So, This may antagonize the effect of your anti-diabetic agents. Tyramine displaces norepinephrine. So kung dun sa presynaptic na inhibit mo yung MAO, you have more catecholamines available to be displaced and released out of the presynaptic fiber. So magi-increase din yung activity. Okay? So yun lang, no? Another non-classic alkylating agent is the carbazine, which generates a methylcarbonium ion. It functions as an alkylating agent after it has been metabolized. So itong the carbazine, it has to be metabolized again, kamukha ng procarbazine, by a liver microsomal enzyme to produce its monoethyl derivative, and that is your diazomethane. So it undergoes oxidative demethylation to come up with diazomethane, so that this will generate carbonium ion. To an electron-rich site, causing again cross-linking, abnormal base pairing, DNA strand breakage, cell death, and that is its cytotoxic effect. Okay. Bendamustine is another agent that belongs to this subclass, the same effect. No? Forms cross-linking with DNA. No? So, actually, itong agent na to, bendamustine, no, has two parts, no, that promotes alkylating effect. No? Kaya nga bifunctional alkylating agent siya. The purazole ring and the nitrogen muscard moiety. Meron siya. No? So, clinical use of these agents, no, yan, more for lymphomas. If you'd notice, ang alkylating agents, no, gamit sila sa lymphomas, no. Particularly procarbazine, no. Procarbazine, no, for lymphoma, marami siyang kakombination. It could be used as part of the MAP regimen. Ano yung MAP regimen? Mecloretamine. Vincristine, kaya O siya, kasi yun yung marketed siya as Oncovin eh. Oncovin, O-N-C-O-V-I-N. Letter P, prednisone. Another letter P, procarbazine. Yan, kasama siya. Okay. For malignant gliomas, part siya ng PCV. Ano yung PCV regimen? P for procarbazine, C, CCNU, or we know that as lomustine, V, vincristine. Okay? Diyan naman yung uses nila. Okay. So far, any questions, class, before we go to the platinum analogs?
And so far.
Okay. So let's go to the platinum analogs. Wala kasi ako mahanap na picture ng oxaliplatin. Tatlo sila. First generation cisplatin, second generation carboplatin, and the third generation is oxaliplatin. So cisplatin is the oldest among these three, no? It's an inorganic metal complex. Bakit metal? Because if you would look at this, no, it has a cis, no? Diamine dichloropplatinum, no, compound. It's a square planar complex, no, of platinum. Again, with 2 ammonia, kaya diamine, and 2 chloride ions, kaya dichloro, no, at the corner of each plane. They synergize with alkylating agents, no, if you combine it with alkylating agents, no. The second generation platinum analog is a divalent soluble platinum, which has the same cytotoxic effect as cisplatin, but has lesser adverse effects. The third one, which is oxaliplatin, it's a third generation tetravalent platinum compound, no, which has a diaminocyclohexane platinum analog sila. Again, the same mechanism of action as cisplatin and carboplatin. Yun nga lang, it has an organoplatinum. It is an organoplatinum compound, kaya nga oxaliplatin eh. Organoplatinum compound, no? The role of that organoplatinum compound is to overcome resistance to cisplatin. So it's not oxaliplatin. is not cross-resist. This would be the general mechanism of action of the three drugs, no? It's related to alkylating agents. Bakit? Because it also binds to the N7 position of guanine. No? Although it also covalently binds with adenine and cytosine. No? So yeah, so bawa, its chloride ion will be replaced with the hydroxyl group. And this must happen before the platinum-nitrogen bond interacts with the DNA. And this bond, no, the platinum-nitrogen compound and its interaction with the DNA, no, at the two adjacent deoxyguanylate site, no, is covalent. That causes now the cross-links and eventually prevents DNA replication. No? Oxaliplatin, no, it undergoes conversion to reactive metabolites. And these reactive metabolites are the one that covalently binds to either adjacent guanine, adjacent adenine guanine, or guanine separated by an intervening nucleotide. Marami siyang site of binding ang oxaliplatin because of its 2-diaminocyclohexane atom. This is the reason why it does not share cross-resistance with, or does not produce cross-resistance with cisplatin and carboplatin. Yeah. So ito yung uses nila, no? They're used for ovarian, no? Commonly used to for ovarian cancer, no? Okay. Yeah, even for small cell and non-small cell lung cancer. Ang different lang ang use yung oxaliplatin, no? Because it's usually used for cases of colorectal cancer that are resistant to cisplatin or carboplatin. And if it's used in combination with other agents, kaya Folfox, no? Okay? Folinic acid 5-fluorouracil and oxaliplatin regimen, kaya Folfox. Folinic acid 5-fluorouracil and oxaliplatin. Now these are the adverse effects, no? If you've noticed, no, most of them, sabi ko sa inyo, di ba, they act on rapidly proliferating tissue sa GI tract, kaya may nausea and vomiting. Sa bone marrow, that's why it causes bone marrow depression, eventually pancytopenia. When you say pancytopenia, all cells produced by the bone marrow will be decreased. No? Kaya pwede ka may leukopenia, reduced red blood cell, and leukopenia, reduced white blood cell. Reduced platelets as well. Yeah. No? Okay. As I mentioned earlier, there's little typical chemotherapy toxicity to cells with a lot of aldehyde dehydrogenase. Anong klaseng cells yon? Bone marrow stem cells, no? But not the entire bone marrow. Liver and intestinal epithelium. No? So yung aldehyde dehydrogenase is protective against the toxic effects of phosphoramide, mustard, and acrolein. Okay? Okay. Sige. For cyclophosphamide and ifosfamide, one of its adverse effect is bloody urine or hemorrhagic cystitis. This is due to acrolein binding to the bladder epithelium. Now, how can you prevent this? One, keep your patient hydrated. Two, you can give a cytoprotective agent or a rescue therapy, which is MESNA. It's a sodium 2-mercaptoethane sulfonate, no? Which donates a sulfhydryl group and binds to acrolein. No? Donates a sulfhydryl group to acrolein, so it could bind to it. And once it's bound to acrolein, acrolein will not anymore bind with the bladder epithelium. No? As I mentioned earlier, cyclophosphamide is in itself carcinogenic because it potentially causes transitional cell carcinoma of the bladder if you use it for a long term, no? Okay. Yeah. No, these are the other adverse effects. I mentioned earlier, di ba? There are certain agents that can be a vesicant, which means when it spills to the surrounding tissue, it could burn the tissues. And this is true for the carbazine. Okay? So, common talaga sa kanila ang myelosuppression. Hypersensitivity, common siya with bendamustine and busulfan. Okay, nandiyan naman yan ha. For the alkylating agents, the related alkylating agents such as your platinum analogs, cisplatin is an agent that really produces a lot of adverse effects. Actually, chloride is the one that the chloride in cisplatin is the one that could cause nephrotoxicity. That's why if you want to prevent nephrotoxicity, you can promote chloride diuresis. Although there's one cytoprotective agent which you can use as a rescue therapy, which is amifostine. No, it reacts with aluminum. It's the aluminum of amifostine reacts with the cisplatin and inactivates cisplatin. Cisplatin has, among these three, has the highest emetogenic, which means it highly causes vomiting, nausea and vomiting among the three. Okay? So if you're giving cisplatin, maganda yan. Prior to chemotherapy, nagbigay ka na ng anti-emetic. Carboplatin, as I mentioned earlier, shares also the same cytotoxic effects as cisplatin, but it lesser siya. Less toxic siya even to the GI and the kidneys. If, for example, kailangan mo mabigay ng platinum analog at medyo impaired yung renal function, you can give carboplatin but compute the dose based on the area under the curve. O compute mo yung dose based on that. Na? Okay. Tapos na tayo sa alkylating, ha? So far, any questions? Okay, tahimik sila. Sige. Let's go to the antimetabolites, no? These agents are structurally similar to endogenous compounds where they act as an antagonist. So, ang methotrexate, yan, similar siya to folic acid, while those that act as a purine antagonists are these agents. These are your pyrimidine antagonists. These agents act on the cell S phase. So, cell cycle specific, cell cycle non-specific sila. Ha?
Specific.
Yes, cell cycle specific sila. Okay? They are also used as an immunosuppressant. No? So, let's start with methotrexate. You've noticed here, yan, it acts on the folic acid synthesis level. It prevents the formation of tetrahydrofolate here. Tetrahydrofolate is essential for purine and pyrimidine synthesis. Now, how does it inhibit the formation of tetrahydrofolate? By reversibly inhibiting dihydrofolate reductase. Okay? Which is responsible for the conversion of dihydrofolate to tetrahydrofolate. So it inhibits dihydrofolate reductase. And because you've lost tetrahydrofolic acid, DNA production will be inhibited, as well as that of the RNA and proteins. Now, it is said to have a lot of polyglutamating enzyme activity on the tumor cells. So, on the tumor cells, this produces a polyglutamating enzyme activity. Ito yon. Yan. So, it has to form your polyglutamate metabolites in order to exert its effect. And for it to form the polyglutamate metabolites in the tumor cells, it must be acted upon by your polyglutamate synthase. So pag wala ito, wala kayong polyglutamate. Kung wala ito sa tumor cells, no polyglutamate metabolites, its effect will be reduced. Ganun din, if leucovorin, or another name for leucovorin, yung L-enantiomer niya, no, which is active, no? If this is reduced, the biologic effects of methotrexate will also be reduced. You can give it in these routes. No? Excretion is mediated by glomerular filtration and tubular secretion. Okay? For it to be easily excreted in the urine, the patient must be hydrated, or you can also alkalinize the urine. So because of this, since it's mainly excreted by the kidneys, you have to modify the dose if your patient has renal dysfunction. Pemetrex is another folic acid analog. So it's a pyrrolopyrimidine antifoliate analog. It is transported into the cell, particularly if it's transported during the S phase of the cell cycle, no, it will reduce folate carrier. But again, just like methotrexate, it must be activated within the tumor cells by your polyglutamate synthase in order to yield your polyglutamate forms. And these polyglutamate forms will inhibit 3 enzymes that will prevent the formation of DNA and RNA. Okay? Its target is said to be dihydrofolate reductase, but its main action is, kaya ko siya inuna, inhibition of thymidylate. So kahit ang target niya dihydrofolate reductase, its main action is inhibition of thymidylate synthase. Kaya siya nasa ibabaw. Okay? No? Pralatrexate is another anti-metabolite. It's an antifolate analog as well. This is the newest among all of them, no? It also inhibits dihydrofolate reductase and thymidylate synthase. So how do we develop the mechanism of resistance? Actually, pareho din doon sa dalawa, sa pralatrexate at sa Pemetrex, no? If there's decreased drug transport into the tumor cells, if you have less of these polyglutamate forms, or if you have a lot of dihydrofolate reductase, or if the structure of the dihydrofolate reductase is altered, no, the tumor will be resistant to methotrexate. So methotrexate will not work well. Now, when are they clinically useful? No? Nandito naman lahat yan, ha? Sa pralatrexate, ginagamit lang siya for refractory cases of T-cell lymphoma, which means those cases that did not respond to the conventional chemotherapy agents for this condition. No? Methotrexate has also non-malignant indications. No? It is one of the DMARDs, no? One of the disease-modifying anti-rheumatoid drugs. Na-discuss ko na yun, di ba? So, pwede siya even for psoriasis, Crohn's disease, and ankylosing spondylitis. We also use this for medical management of ectopic pregnancy, especially if the ectopic pregnancy is small, less than 3.5 millimeters, or less than 3.5 centimeters, and it has the, halimbawa, nasa 2 fallopian tube. The fallopian tube is not yet ruptured yan. Diyan siya ginagamit. No? Okay? To reduce the adverse effects of these drugs, better supplement with folic acid. No? Kahit mag-supplement ka, hindi naman magre-reduce yung kanyang activity. And vitamin B12. No? Particularly with Pemetrex. Now, one of the adverse reaction here is infusion reaction manifested as skin rashes. To reduce that, for Pemetrex, you can give dexamethasone a day prior to chemotherapy. Oral lang naman, no? Oral dexamethasone. These are the adverse effects. They are myelosuppressants, no? Yan. Kaya nasa una, pare-pareho sila, no? They also cause mucositis. Now, to reduce mucositis, you can give a rescue therapy, particularly for methotrexate, which is leucovorin. Yan. Yan yung rescue therapy niya, leucovorin, Leucovorin. leucovorin, VERIN, no? Yan. So yan, yung skin rash ito, you can be avoided by giving dexamethasone. Although methotrexate compared to the other two has greater adverse effect, it can even cause hepatitis, pulmonary fibrosis, and CNS adverse effects. So we're through with this group, the folic acid analogs. Let's move now to your fluoropyrimidines, no? Your fluoropyrimidines, under which you have your 5-fluorouracil, it is a 5-fluoro analog that inhibits thymidylate synthase. No? Anti-metabolite pa rin kasi ito eh. No? So, important to for purine, di ba? Metabolism, no? So, this will tend to inhibit, no, DNA synthesis. Okay? Just like your folic acid analogs, they also act on the S phase. No? They're usually active when they act on the S phase. No? Okay? So this is the one responsible for the different cytotoxic effects. No? Okay? Particularly its metabolites. That eventually, because of inhibition of DNA synthesis, this will cause cell cycle arrest and apoptosis. At the same time, it also has an inhibitory activity to the exosome complex. This exosome complex is an exoribonuclease complex. No, this is essential for the survival of the tumor cell. Okay. Capecitabine, it's actually the parent compound capecitabine is inactive. But as it undergoes 3 enzymatic activities here, 3 enzymatic steps, no? Okay. And the formation of 2 intermediary metabolites, eventually, it will form 5-fluorouracil. No? Okay. Ang market name nito is Xeloda eh. Xeloda. No? Yan. So, it's a prodrug, capecitabine, ha? It's a fluoropyrimidine carbamate prodrug. Ito, hindi pa to masyadong ginagamit dito sa Pilipinas, although this is given orally and it has been approved by the US US FDA in 2015. No? Kaya TAS, trifluoridine to eh. A fluorinated pyrimidine nucleoside analog. No? It also has tipiracil, TIPI yan, RACIL, no? Which is a thymidine phosphorylase inhibitor. Okay. Its metabolite is the one that inhibits thymidylate synthase. So these are the uses of your fluoropyrimidines, no? Okay. So for 5-fluorouracil, meron siyang non-malignant indication for keratosis, actinic keratosis, no? Topically, you can give this. May topical form kasi ang 5-fluorouracil. Okay? Kung topical mo siya gagamitin, pwede rin siya for basal cell CA. No? Okay, so ayan siya yung... Pag tinignan mo ang capecitabine, it's only used for metastatic cases of or advanced stages of colorectal cancer, as well as metastatic breast cancer if the patient failed to respond to yung mga doxorubicin, yung mga anthracycline-based treatment. Or if paclitaxel-based treatment also failed. Doon mo lang siya ibibigay for metastatic breast cancer. So, hindi siya first line. So, these are the adverse effects. Again, they commonly cause myelosuppression. Although they also have GI, neurotoxic adverse effect, no? 5-fluorouracil can also cause mucositis. No? The same with stomatitis for capecitabine. Yung dermatologic, yung hand-foot syndrome, nandiyan naman yung syndrome. Yan. It's common for capecitabine. Okay? Wala sila may GI adverse effects din. Hepatic sa capecitabine yun, hyperbilirubinemia. For capecitabine, it may interact with warfarin. No, it may displace warfarin from protein binding. Hence, you will have more free forms of warfarin, kaya mag-i-increase yung bleeding risk. No? Since phenytoin is a CYP2C9 inhibitor, capecitabine also inhibits CYP2C9. So, ang capecitabine may also inhibit CYP2C9. So, it may increase also the metabolism of these drugs. Okay? Again, as I've mentioned earlier, leucovorin is not just indicated for methotrexate. Na pwede mo rin siyang gamitin to reduce the adverse effects or hindi. For methotrexate, it may reduce the adverse rescue. Pero pag sa fluorouracil mo siya ginamit, oo, mag-i-increase nga yung efficacy niya, but the toxicity of capecitabine will be increased. Baligtad siya sa capecitabine. Ang toxicity niya, both efficacy and toxicity will increase if you give leucovorin with capecitabine. No, cytarabine, as a parent compound, again, is inactive. It has to be converted to a cytosine arabinoside triphosphate in order to promote its action. It is rapidly acting, particularly damaging the DNA during the S phase. Okay? So, again, S phase specific siya. So, if the tumor cells does not take up cytarabine or does not convert cytarabine to its active form, the tumor cells will be resistant to cytarabine. Okay. Gemcitabine, okay, it is also an agent that replaces the building block for nucleic acid, which is cytidine. So because of that, you reduce the building block of nucleic acids. Hence, the process of tumor growth will be arrested and eventually lead to cellular suicide or apoptosis. Okay. Both gemcitabine and cytarabine are useful, Initially, they are actually approved for pancreatic cancer. Dito sila initially na-approved. But now, they're widely used for non-small cell lung cancer, bladder, and breast cancer, as well as lymphomas. Ang tagal na nito, pero up to now, ang nakalagay sa nito, it's still investigational for esophageal cancer. Yan. So, they are myelosuppressants, both of them. They can cause flu-like syndrome, Rarely can it affect the kidneys. For your purine synthesis inhibitors, under this you have thioguanine. This is a guanine analog wherein inside the cell, the non-active parent compound thioguanine will be converted to guanilic acid. Nucleotide synthesis and may incorporate itself into the DNA and RNA. So the thioguanine nucleotides will be incorporated in both DNA and RNA. Again, this will cause cell cycle arrest and apoptosis. Mercaptopurine, okay, is converted naman to a monophosphate 6-thioinosinic acid, which promotes this effect. Basta itong anti-metabolites, they alter the synthesis and affect the function of RNA and DNA. Okay? So, for the 6 thiopurines, that includes your mercaptopurine and thioguanine, what activates them is the hypoxanthine guanine phosphoribosyl transferase. This enzyme to its toxic nucleotides. Without this enzyme, the tumor, if the tumor does not have this enzyme, the tumor will be resistant to these agents. It undergoes extensive first pass effect. That's why it has a low oral bioavailability. No? If you give it with a xanthine oxidase inhibitor such as febuxostat and allopurinol, the mercaptopurines metabolism may be inhibited. Kaya be careful, ha? Okay? So when do we use it? No, for acute leukemias, doon siya ginagamit. No? And the chronic myelocytic leukemia. Actually, alam nyo ba, yung azathioprine, it's an immunosuppressant that is also converted to 6-mercaptopurine in order, no? Pero hindi siya ginagamit as azathioprine as an chemotherapy agent. Ginagamit siya as an immunosuppressant lang. So, it is toxic to the bone marrow, and it is toxic to the liver, and it may cause GI disturbances. Another purine synthesis inhibitor is fludarabine. No? It's a purine analog. You can give it orally and intravenously. No? It's active in both dividing and yes, it's cell cycle non-specific. No? Okay? Cell cycle non-specific. Okay. So yan ha. It inhibits DNA synthesis by interfering with ribonucleotide reductase and DNA polymerase. Cladribine, no? It mimics the nucleoside adenosine by incorporating its triphosphate form into the DNA. So this will inhibit the DNA polymerase alpha and beta, which will now reduce the cell's ability to process DNA. No, cladribine is easily destroyed by normal cells in the body, except blood. Its parent form is inactive. It is highly specific for lymphoid tissue. Maganda siya sa lymphoid tissue. Kaya tignan mo, yun din ang use niya more sa lymphoma, hairy cell leukemia. Yeah. Now, if you want to promote a non-myoablative allogenic to ha, wala yung E dito, stem cell transplant, you can give this as part of your conditioning regimens. So for blood malignancy siya maganda. One thing that you should take note of this agent is that they can cause fever, usually in the second and third day of treatment. Pag nag-fever yan, always rule out infection. Baka mamaya hindi naman, kaya nag-fever yan, hindi sa gamot, no? Pwede may infection. Kaya make sure na yon, i-rule out yung infection if they develop fever. Yun yung common. They are myelosuppressants, no? And immunosuppressants as well. Fludarabine can even cause joint pains and muscle pain. Okay? Yay, we're through with the antimetabolites. Let's now move to the natural products. Kaya nga natural products because they're plant-derived. They are cell cycle specific. And these are examples of your agents. You have your vinca alkaloids, your podophyllitoxins, your camptothecins. Madali to kaya topotecan, tekins, campothecins. Podophyllitoxin kaya may po sila. Podo kasi kaya may po, etoposide. Ganun yun siya memorizing. Basta taxanes, taxel. So, vitobulin is the building block of the microtubules. Ano ba yung microtubules na yan? These microtubules are responsible for mitosis. Paano? No, dapat itong microtubule nyo should disassemble. subunit of tubulin, microtubule assembly. So which means the microtubule will not disassemble, will not depolymerize. So if it will not disassemble, thereby mitosis and cell division will be inhibited. So hindi magkakaroon ng mitosis, hindi siya magproliferate. Because this agent hyperstabilizes the microtubule by binding to the beta subunit of the tubulin. Okay? So the cytoskeleton of the tumor will not be flexible anymore. Ito, hindi to confined sa taxanes lang class ha. Dito ko lang to nailagay. Dapat sa dulo ko to nailagay. Anyway, all myelosuppressants, no, are contraindicated if lahat ng myelosuppressants na nabanggit ko ha, if the neutrophil count is less than 1.5 times 10 to the 9 cells per liter, or if the absolute neutrophil count is less than 500. You cannot give these agents because you'll put your patient at risk to sepsis or your febrile neutropenia. Yun. Common ito ha. For those agents that are hepatotoxic, yan. Before even, that's why for these agents, so for myelosuppressants, before even at least 2 weeks, no, maganda 2 weeks before the chemotherapy, you could have requested for this para pwede kang magbigay ng mga filgrastim, yung ni-lecture ni Dr. Arabello, yung mga granulocyte macrophage colony stimulating factor, no? Kung mababa naman ang red cells, pwede kang magbigay ng erythropoietin. Kasi kung ang hemoglobin nyo is less than 10 or pababa, 10 or less, you cannot also do chemotherapy, myelosuppressant kasi itong mga to and other myelosuppressants. No? Okay. If the platelet count is also less than 100,000, they don't do chemotherapy. So, may mga pwede ka namang ibigay, no? Yung thrombopoietin for the platelets, erythropoietin for the red blood cells, no? Or blood transfusion. Mas mabilis. So, sayang yung log cell kill mo in the previous chemotherapy. Now, specific for this agent is this one, hypersensitivity. Alam nyo ba, pag nagbigay kayo ng paclitaxel, meron siyang special intravenous tube or line. Gagailangan yun yung gamitin mo, hindi yung ordinary IV tubing, no? Iba yung gagamitin mo, no? Because the polysorbate 80, no, in that transfusion line, yung IV line, is important. So, kung may hypersensitivity ka doon, no, yun yung binabantayan, no? Hypersensitivity coming from this agent comes from this, no? So, yun yung binabantayan ng mga during the first parts of the infusion ng drug, nabantayan ng mga oncologists, no? Okay. So, for hepatic insufficiency, for all agents that causes hepatotoxicity, you don't only monitor for the transaminases, but you need to monitor for bilirubin. Like, for these agents, if the bilirubin is greater than the upper limit, you should not administer, particularly docetaxel. It's a contraindication. If the liver enzymes is greater than 5 times above the upper limit of normal, halimbawa, upper limit mo 35. Kung 5 times above that, hindi ka pwedeng magbigay nito, even for other hepatotoxic agents. No? So these are the uses, nandiyan naman ha, marami nga lang, no? Yung mga naka-asterisk, particularly for docetaxel, dito sila madalas ginagamit, no? Preferred for this cancers, no, with asterisk. Although paclitaxel, commonly it's given for ovarian cancer, non-small cell cancer, sila, no? Halos pareho naman sila ng clinical uses. Although among them, cabisitacel, the newest form, is only given for multi-drug resistant tumors. Those refractory to treatment, particularly refractory metastatic prostate cancer. Ang problema nito, if there are a lot of P-glycoprotein efflux pump in the tumor. If the tumor has a lot of P-glycoprotein efflux pump, the tumor may have multi-drug resistance, particularly for this one. No, in terms of adverse effect, when you say acute, no, immediately or a few days, no, within a few days from the time this was infused, no, ito yung mga immediate toxic effects. No, actually the side effects are more frequent among elderly 65 and above. But this does not mean that you will reduce the dose for them. Dosage of your chemotherapy agents is based on the body surface area. Kukumpitin mo naman yun. Okay. But for patients who are experiencing diarrhea, no, for these agents, you may decrease the dose, no, to 20%. No, common yun sa docetaxel. This is not yet recommended for pediatric patients because of the limited safety profile for those under 16 years old. So in terms of hematological adverse effect, they commonly affect neutropenia and then the red blood cells. Febrile neutropenia happens in 11% of cases. Least common yung thrombocytopenia. Okay. No. The other microtubule drugs, antimicrotubule drugs are these two, eribulin and ixabepilone, no? They are also known as your microtubule inhibitor, no? Okay. So here, wala ring cell division kaya sa M-phase. Ito namang eribulin is an analog of halichondrin B, no? Which also inhibits microtubule function. Pero ito, hindi siya specific lang sa M-phase. It can even act at the G2 phase, eribulin. So, when is it indicated, these two? No? It's only indicated for metastatic breast cancer. No? And you can combine it with capecitabine. Capecitabine, di ba ganun din naman for ano lang siya, for those refractory cases of breast cancer. So, the main side effect is myelosuppression and hypersensitivity. Common actually sa mga antimicrotubule drugs is hypersensitivity reaction. Although these two can cause neurotoxicity. Okay. Vinca alkaloids, ito yung mga letter B, vinblastine, vinorelbine, vincristine. They also bind to tubulin, which inhibits the assembly of microtubules. They also act on the M-phase. Okay. So this one is derived from a periwinkle plant, natural product kasi siya, no? If the tumor has a lot of efflux transporters, yan, these agents may not work well for those tumors. It's given parenterally. It does not penetrate through the CSF. Okay, it's mainly cleared through the biliary route. Yan ang siniwala-hiwalay ko na kung saan sila primarily used. No? Nabanggit ko na yung MAP regimen. Ano nga yung MAP? Meclorethamine, vincristine yung O, marketed kasi sa Oncovin, prednisone, and procarbazine. No? Then you have the CHOP, no, used for non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Yan yung cyclophosphamide, adriamycin, yung H, no, Oncovin or vincristine, and then prednisone. You also have your ABVD regimen for Hodgkin's lymphoma. ABVD is adriamycin, bleomycin, vinblastine, and dacarbazine. Yan. Andiyan naman yung clinical uses, no? Now, when it comes to side effect, nilamp ko na rin para madali na lang sa inyo, no? Kasi ang dami naman nito eh. Para lang alam nyo na kung saan. Pag GI, no? GI, common sa kanila lahat. Yan, common ha. Yan, meron din yan. Bone marrow suppression is least common with vincristine. Although pag tiningnan mo nga, less sa myelosuppression, but it's more of neurotoxic. No? Okay? Ito yung SIDH, Syndrome of Inappropriate ADH Secretion. Meron din nito ang cyclophosphamide ha, pero mas common siya for these two agents. So, kaya pwede ka para kang edematous, pwede ka magkaroon ng water retention because of syndrome of inappropriate ADH secretion. Okay. Epipodophylotoxins, ito yung mga etoposide tsaka teniposide. No? Sabi ko sa inyo, may so etoposide, teniposide. Madaling tandaan to, no? Etoposide, etu, no? Etoposide, no? Topoisomerase 2 siya. Okay. It inhibits this enzyme that promotes DNA strand breakage, no? Okay. So, they block cell division at the S and G2 phase. So, they block cell division at the S and G2 phase. Etoposide can be given not just intravenously but also orally. But please, when you give it intravenously, it must be given through a period of 30 to 60 minutes. And while it is being infused, check the blood pressure. It can cause hypotension kasi. So please do not give it through fast no IV push or bolus because this can cause hypotension. Kailangan mabagal lang to prevent the patient from going to hypotension. Kung available to orally, ito IV lang. Teniposide is only available intravenously. If your patient has renal function, you do not need to reduce the dose, no? Irinotecan I, kaya topoisomerase 1. Since ka-sounds like niya yung tecan, topoisomerase 1 inhibitor din sila. Yan, tinituro ako na kay paano niyo siya mamemorize, no? Okay? So again, these are the adverse effects, no? Okay. No? So, ito yan. Again, give this slow IV push to prevent too much lowering of the blood pressure, common sa kanila. Yung pain or burning of the IV site, vesicant yan. So make sure that before injecting it sa veins, the veins is patent. Because if not, it may leak outside of the vein and burn the skin. Huh? Okay. Yan. They both can cause this. Yung metallic taste more of sa etoposide. For bone marrow suppression, no, actually, sa lahat ng agents na diniscuss natin na may myelosuppressant, no, usually yung myelosuppression, makikita nyo lang siya evident. It's evident usually after the third or fourth cycle. Bakit? Kasi actually, ang bone marrow recovers from myelosuppression in 6 weeks. Pero karamihan kasi ng chemotherapy schedule mo is 3 to 4 weeks, kaya nagiging cumulative yung immunosuppressant effect, no? For teniposide, the lowered count of white blood cell can happen 1 to 2 weeks after treatment, no? But they should return to normal to 3 to 4 weeks time. If the WBC count is low, as I mentioned earlier, pwede siyang prone sa infection, no? Pag bumaba naman ng platelets, pwede silang maging prone to bleeding. Andiyan naman yan, ha. And fever can also happen shortly after IV administration. So you just have to rule out infection, kasi hindi naman yan due to infection. Okay, basta wala akong nilagay na specific age, that ibig sabihin common for both. And these are the clinical uses, no? Andiyan. Yung irinotecan, it's not used alone, no? It's given in combination, no, with other agents. Yun yung folfiri, folinic acid or leucovorin. Another name for leucovorin is folinic acid. Folinic acid, fluorouracil, irinotecan, kaya folfiri. Given for cancer. No? Okay? So, nandiyan naman yan, ha? Anti-tumor antibiotics. No? It's made up of several structurally dissimilar microbial products. These are examples. Tatandaan nyo, ha, sa cell cycle specific, nakakalimutan ko banggitin. These drugs are cell cycle non-specific. Nakalimutan ko banggitin kanina doon sa cell cycle kinetics. No? The only one that is cell cycle specific acting on a G2 phase is bleomycin. But the anthracyclines and mitomycins, they are cell cycle non-specific. only bleomycin is cell cycle specific. Similar to etoposide and teniposide, your epipodophylotoxins, they act also to inhibit topoisomerase 2. No? They bind to DNA through intercalation that causes a blockade in DNA RNA synthesis and DNA strand excision. No? Ang topoisomerase 2 kasi important yan, no? To the winding of the DNA. So pag na-inhibit mo yung topoisomerase 2, DNA will unwind for transcription. Yun ang problema natin. No? The fourth one, no, is the one responsible for cardiotoxicity. It's the formation of the semiquinone free radicals and oxygen free radicals that causes cardiotoxicity. Usually cardiomyopathy. Yeah. So these are the different clinical uses, no. Actually, ang doxorubicin commonly used for this, even for breast cancer. Yun nga lang, if you're going to use doxorubicin, siya yung pinaka most cardiotoxic sa kanilang lahat eh. You have to request for cardio clearance prior to giving doxorubicin to be sure na walang structural abnormality yung heart. Kasi if the heart has structural abnormality, the cardiotoxic effect of doxorubicin would be accelerated. Okay? No. Another name for doxorubicin is adriamycin, ha? Another name for doxorubicin is adriamycin, ADRIAMYCIN. No? It's used for several regimens, no? Okay? Yun yung CA or cyclophosphamide adriamycin, meron ding taxotere and ABVD kasama siya yung A, yung adriamycin. Sa CHOP kasama din siya. Tapos sa breast cancer, may isa pa yung FAC, 5-fluorouracil, adriamycin, and cyclophosphamide. Okay? Yan. Pwede rin siya sa ovarian cancer. Let's say, kailangan mo ng anthracycline, pero mukhang hindi siya makiklear cardio-wise. What you can give, breast cancer, what you can give is epirubicin, no? It's now becoming popular because it appears to cause fewer side effects, epirubicin, no? It has a different spatial orientation, no, at the hydroxyl group of the 4-carbon position of sugar, no? No, that makes it what? That structure, no, makes it fast to eliminate, so they don't stay long in the body, the metabolites. That's why they have reduced toxicity. Okay? So kailangan mo siya ibigay sa breast cancer, tapos hindi makiklear cardiac-wise, you can give epirubicin as an alternative. No? Okay? So these are the side effects. Acute, yan yung mga immediate. No? Let me just emphasize, ang red urine does not mean it's hemorrhagic. Kulay red kasi ang doxorubicin, kaya siya red. Pero hindi siya hemorrhagic, unlike cyclophosphamide. Hemorrhagic talaga siya, kaya mapula. Ito red lang, it's not a hemorrhagic. Ha? Yan, so. Ang may blood urine, in the urine, yun yung valrubicin. Yung bloody urine, yan yung valrubicin. Okay? So, wala na ako nakalimutan. Yung cardiotoxicity nito, no, initially, ECG abnormalities, no? Like, it can cause arrhythmia. But later on, particularly if you give it at a higher dose, or matagal mo siyang binigay, it can cause cardiomyopathy, which makes your patient prone to congestive heart failure. Now, desrazoxane is its rescue therapy. It's the one that inhibits the iron-mediated free radical generation, protecting the heart from toxicity. If you want to use cardiotoxic doxorubicin form, use the liposomal formulation. Okay. Actually, ang desrazoxane, na-discuss ko na to sa di ba? Na-discuss ko na to sa talks. It's an iron chelating agent. Also used for the management of iron overload. Okay. Actinomycin, no? It binds to the double-stranded DNA through intercalation, where it inhibits all form of the DNA-dependent RNA synthesis. So, it binds, it forms intercalation between the adjacent guanosine cytosine base pairs. No? Its other name is dactinomycin. No? Kasi dati actinomycin D yan eh. No? Okay. So, these are the clinical uses. Sa gyne, common siyang ginagamit for gestational trophoblastic neoplasia and germ cell tumors. No? Similar with methotrexate. Okay? It's given intravenously. Bleomycin, when it binds to DNA, it forms a DNA bleomycin iron ferrous complex, no, through oxidation. And this will lead to free radical formation, causing the strand breakage sa DNA, inhibiting its biosynthesis. Okay? No? So it actually inhibits the incorporation of thymidine into DNA strands. It's cell cycle specific as it is active at the G2 phase. No? Ang bleomycin, dalawa ang binding site niya ha. May DNA binding, saka may iron binding domain siya. At opposite ends. So sa isang side, DNA binding region siya. Sa other side, may iron binding domain siya. Okay? So these are the clinical uses, no? One of its non-malignant indication is sclerosing. Let's say yung patient nyo may recurrent pleural effusion, collection of fluid sa pleural space. No? To prevent it from recurring, they can inject this through the pleural space and cause sclerosis or pleurodesis. Since nagkaroon na ng fibrosis yung area na yun, hindi na magko-collect yung fluid. No? That is its non-malignant indication. It's part of the ABVD regimen for Hodgkin's lymphoma. Okay. Mitomycin is a potent DNA cross-linker. No? It's also effective in killing bacteria, no? Hindi lang cancer cells. No? So, it generates an alkylating agent that cross-links with DNA. No? So, ito yung mga alkylation sites niya. N6 of guanine, O6, N7, N6 of adenine, O6, and N7 position of guanine niya. It also forms oxygen-free radicals. It's active in all phases of the cell cycle. So, cell cycle specific, cell cycle non-specific. Non-specific. Okay. No? So, these are the clinical uses, no? If you want to use this for the small cell cancer of the anus, you have to combine it with 5-fluorouracil. And then, still the patient needs to go to radiation. No? Okay? So, pwedeng ito muna, neoadjuvant siya. Kasi radiation ang primary treatment, tapos siya ka mag-radiation. No? Yeah. You can inject this directly into the urinary bladder for superficial bladder tumors. It's given every 6 weeks na ito. If you give this for a prolonged period of time, this may result to permanent bone marrow damage. So these are the adverse effects. So meron siyang acute, immediate, meron din siyang delayed. No? For bleomycin, may fever din to at saka hypotension. So watch out. Dapat slow IV din to. Slow IV infusion din to because of hypotension. Okay. Nabanggit ko na tong pulmonary fibrosis. Okay, let's move to the miscellaneous agents. Tinabulate ko na to ha, para dun nyo na lang, ganito nyo na lang siya basahin. No? Minsan ang tawag din dito targeted therapy or immunotherapy. No? Okay? No? So these are the clinical uses. Ito yung target nila, kaya nga tyrosine kinase inhibitor. No? No? May target sila to inhibit tyrosine kinase. Itong dalawa, BCR-ABL, ito yung sikit. No? Okay. So, pag nagkaroon ng mutations dun sa target nila, the tumor will be resistant to this one. No, these agents are mainly used for leukemia, yung tyrosine kinase inhibitors. Fluid retention is a common side effect, no, for imatinib. No? Although they can cause myelosuppression, particularly bosutinib. No? Okay. Yung dasatinib can be given orally to ha, dasatinib. Now, these are your epidermal growth factor inhibitors. Ito yung kasi normally ang breast cancer, halimbawa nag-surgery ka, modified radical mastectomy. Given na yan na i-check na nila for ER/PR positivity. Let's say negative siya to ER, next na pagawa is dapat i-check yung HER2/neu. Kasi hindi ka pwede magbigay ng tamoxifen or hormonal therapy pag negative sa estrogen receptor. Ngayon, kung mag-positive siya sa HER2/neu, diretso ka na sa trastuzumab. Kasi pag positive siya sa HER2/neu, sa conventional agents, resistant siya. So, magbigay ka na ng targeted therapy pag positive siya sa HER2/neu. No? Common na kasi ngayon yung positivity sa HER2/neu according to oncologists. No? Okay? So, ito medyo iba-iba yung gamit. No? Meron for colon cancer, no? Meron for small cell, non-small cell lung cancer. Unlike yung isa more of sa leukemias. Okay? So, these are the adverse effect. Ang trastuzumab, kailangan din magpa-cardiac clearance ka ha, because this can cause CHF, particularly for those patients with structural abnormalities like merong ventricular hypertrophy. Yan. Kaya kailangan pagpa-cardiac clearance ka. Even osimertinib, na kailangan din may cardiac clearance ka. Okay? Yan, kahit ito. No, karamihan dito kailangan may cardiac clearance ka. Okay, check for also electrolyte imbalance, particularly for panitumumab. No? Now, the others would be your vascular endothelial growth factor inhibitors. No? Yan, ito naman for colorectal cancer. Ito. No, dito lang na iba, no? Karamihan sa kanila for colorectal. Okay? So, ito. Ito yung nakakakos ng hypertension tsaka thromboembolism. So, be careful with these agents. They can cause hypertension and thromboembolism. Cardiotoxic, these three are cardiotoxic. So, be careful, no? Okay? Ito naman yung 26 proteasome inhibitor, yung mga Zomib. Mas madaling i-memorize to kasi sila lang yung nag-end sa Zomib. Your inhibitors of 26S proteasome. They're usually used for multiple myeloma. Okay. Another monoclonal antibody. Ito monoclonal antibody rin to, itong mga VEGFR, no? Kasi particularly yung sunitinib, no? Meron siyang FC portion. No? Ganun din itong rituximab. No? FC portion din mediates its antibody-mediated cellular cytotoxicity. So, meron siyang antibody-mediated tsaka complement-dependent cytotoxic effect, mainly due to the FC portion. they bind to the cluster differentiation 20 kay CD20, which downregulates the B cells. So maganda siya against tumors that involves proliferation of B cells like lymphoma. Kaya maganda siya for lymphoma. Yan. Leukemias and lymphomas, no? It's even used for non-malignant conditions like rheumatoid arthritis and the rest. No? Okay. Actually, ang rheumatoid arthritis noon, it's now licensed for treatment. Basta refractory, mahal kasi siya eh. Let's say na try mo na lahat, no? Walang nagre-respond, hindi nagre-respond yung rheumatoid arthritis. It's been licensed for refractory cases of rheumatoid arthritis rituximab. Mahal to eh. Huh? Okay. Yan. Now, pwede rin siyang immunosuppressant for renal transplant patients. Okay? Yan. So, what you should watch out for when you're giving your targeted chemotherapy, mga binanggit ko kanina, tsaka ito monoclonal, is the infusion reaction. Once the tumor lyses nga with rituximab, the risk of acute renal failure can happen. No? Okay? Your patient is prone to infections. No? Lahat naman ng immunosuppressants, no? No? Karamihan naman ng cancer chemotherapy nyo, immunosuppressant sila. No? They can increase your risk for infections. Ito particularly for Hepa B and viral infections. Okay? Immune toxicity happens with the management of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma in 70 to 80% of cases because of the reduction in B cells. For asparaginase, it catalyzes the conversion of L-asparaginase to aspartic acid and ammonia. This L-asparagine kasi is important for leukemic cell survival. So pag na-convert siya into these two, madi-deprive na siya ng L-asparagine. So eventually, the tumor cells will die. But this is the only indication. Its main side effect is allergy. But it's known to be associated with pancreatitis and coagulopathy. Dalawa lang naman yan eh. It's either magkaroon ka ng coagulopathy or mag-bleed ka. May anticoagulant effect kasi yan eh. No? Tapos pwede rin siya maging thrombotic, kaya pwede ka mag-stroke. So pwede siyang thrombotic, forms thrombosis, kaya that can lead to stroke. Pero pwede rin siyang anticoagulant, has an anticoagulant effect. Kaya mag-i-increase naman yung bleeding risk. No? So these are the factors. Matapos na pala natin, maiksi na lang tong part na to. No? These are the factors that we consider when using anti-neoplastics. No, tinabulate ko na to. Bakit? Kasi if the tumor has these mechanisms of resistance, there's a tendency that your patient will not respond well to this anti-neoplastic. So, halimbawa, hindi siya nagre-respond sa alkylating agents. Probably, ito yung mechanism of resistance. So, when you choose an alternative chemotherapy, make sure that the mechanism of resistance is different from the previous agent. Kasi kung pareho lang, di ganun din. So, kaya nga, halimbawa, dapat alam mo yung mechanism of resistance. No, kasulat naman yan sa literatures para makapili ka ng alternative that does not share the same mechanism of resistance. Okay? Now, the type of cancer, not all chemotherapy agents can be given for all cancers. Mamaya bigyan ko kayo ng example. Kaya nga nilagay ko yung indications kahit madami. Kasi may particular chemotherapy that will be good for a particular type of cancer agent. Stage of cancer. You use more of the combinations pag latter stage na. Or minsan, pag advanced stage na, you choose the higher ones, yung mga targeted therapy, mga tyrosine kinase, mga ganon, no? Patient's age, no? Kasi di ba some of them, like the elderly, are prone to their adverse effects, no? Comorbidities, yan, kung may hepatic problem 5 times above the normal, di ka pwedeng magbigay ng, let's say, mga toxins, no? Yung mga yan. So, tignan mo yung kung merong structural abnormalities, mahirap magbigay ng mga doxorubicin or anything that causes cardiomyopathy. And for example, recurrence na to, you have to know the type of treatment given. Kasi nga, kailangan alam mo yung previous agent niya para kasi alam mo yung mechanism of resistance. So, makapili ka ng agent with a different mechanism of resistance. No? Okay? Bawa, naka-carboplatin siya or naka-cisplatin. No? Alam mo naman resistant din na nag-work. So, pwede ka naman shift sa oxaliplatin. Parang ganon, no? Okay? So, in terms of combination therapy, no, the advantage is will have a better log kill. Kaya nga mas magandang mag-combine ka ng, if you're going to give combination therapy, better use agents na, may agents ka na cell cycle specific, may agents ka na cell cycle non-specific, so they will be synergistic. Maganda din, medyo magkaiba na mechanism of action, so they will be synergistic. No? Kasi pag nag-combine ka nito, at least pati yung resting phase ng cancer cells will be also attacked or targeted. Actually, the good thing about combination is that it can act on several cancer cell population at the same time prevent resistance. Again, this is the importance, as I mentioned, your cell kill will be maximal, no, with combination. Tapos dapat broader range, no? Okay? Yan. And to prevent drug resistance. So, efficacy, that's why you have to give it to a particular cancer type because certain drugs are efficacious to a certain tumor. You have to know the toxicity, bakit? As much as possible kasi hindi ka dapat mag-combine ng drugs with the same toxic effects. Pero ang hirap, no? Kasi karamihan sa kanila, myelosuppressant. Yan, follow the optimum schedule. Why? The optimum schedule is the shortest time possible for you to give the next dose. Why? Shortest time possible to prevent recovery, to promote recovery of the normal tissues at the same time, maintain the log cell kill that you need. No? So, kailangan optimal yung scheduling. So again, two ways, no, to allow the normal tissues to recover. Ang hirap nga lang sa bone marrow kasi ang bone marrow 6 weeks to recover. And then one is at least kahit papano that time frame is important to promote further log cell kill. Ang problema mo kasi pag na-delay siya, oo nga naka-recover yung tissues ng mas maganda, but since you delayed it, yung log cell kill mo, nabawasan kasi pwedeng mag-proliferate ulit yung natitirang portions ng tumor. Yung mechanism of interaction, no, particularly pharmacokinetic mechanisms, no, like kung inhibitor ba sila ng certain enzymes, no? And avoid arbitrary dose changes. You only don't have those changes if there's changes in the body surface area, no? So again, when you combine, no, choose drugs that are active when given alone to enjoy its synergistic effect. Kung para maging synergistic effect niya, dapat alone, yung drug na gagamitin mo, yung mga drugs na ginagamit mo, alone, should be effective. Okay. Ayan, better different mechanism of action, better din magkaiba yung mechanism of resistance to avoid cross-resistance. And kung maaari, no, different din yung toxic effects, no. Yan, here is an example of combination chemotherapy agents used for a particular cancer. Okay? Andiyan na yan. Okay, so ito yung sa dosage factors, no. Yan, therapeutic selectivity is dependent on the difference between dose response curves of normal and tumor tissues. Pero kasi minsan, kahit gawin mo ng ganyan, it can still attack normal tissues, no? Yan. Sabi nila, there's a positive relationship between dose intensity and clinical efficacy. No? So the greater the dose, the better its killing power towards these tumors. No? Okay. Yan. Reducing interval between treatment cycles is better, no? A better approach, no? But enough time, yan, optimal pa rin yung scheduling, enough time for the normal tissues to recover. So I also tabulated here the different chemotherapy agents according to their emetic effects, no? High, moderate, low. So I also gave you examples uh, of side effects that is particularly common for a certain chemotherapy agent. Nandiyan na rin lahat yan. No? And then, I also tabulated naman their effect according to, toxic effects according to system. So, with regards to the rescue therapy, no, yan, ito yung mga rescue therapy na banggit ko na, no. For leucovorin, you can use this to bypass the dihydrofolate reductase step in folic acid synthesis. This could lessen the side effects that could be associated with high-dose methotrexate. No? Okay. No, this will protect, no, the GI tract and the bone marrow. So it tends to rescue normal cells. Yung MES na naman, as I've mentioned, no, this traps or binds with acrolein to prevent it from binding to the urinary bladder epithelium. So this reduces hemorrhagic cystitis. This is the one, di ba, it's used for iron, no? Toxicity, but you can also use this for doxorubicin as it inhibits or binds with the free radicals, no? So it will not damage the heart. So it's protective to the heart. While I've mentioned this amifostine, it reacts with aluminum reacts with cisplatin to prevent it from to prevent chloride from causing damage to the kidneys. So ito yung supportive treatment, no? Ito yung sinasabi ko, di ba? Pagka less than 500 yung neutrophil count, you need to give your colony stimulating factor to increase it. So better mag-monitor ka prior to chemotherapy. Kasi pag nag-monitor ka, at least, yun, mabibigay mo na to, and probably during that schedule talaga, medyo mataas na yung neutrophil count. Ayan. Ito yung nabanggit ka na kanina, yung mga supportive treatment. Okay. So, parameters to assess, no, prior to chemotherapy are this one. You base the computation of the dose on the DSA body surface area. Now, before giving chemotherapy, you have to assess the functionality of the patient. No? Kung ang patient mo ma-operahan for cancer o masa-surgery, kailangan yung functional score niya, yung ECOG, no, yung Eastern Cooperative Oncology Group score niya is up to 2 lang. Pag more than that, hindi mo na pwedeng ibigay yung chemotherapy. Yung radiation, pwede hanggang 4, but the rest did. No? So these are the things that I mentioned already that you need to test, no, in order to monitor for toxicity, to prevent, kasi may mga contraindications para alam mo kung kailan ka hindi magbibigay ng chemotherapy. Like kung may liver problems, ito, tataas ito. No? Pre and post medications, yun yung magbibigay ka ng steroids prior to chemo to prevent yung mga hypersensitivity reaction or skin rash. Pwede ka magbigay ng antiemetic to prevent vomiting. And you have to hydrate in between chemotherapy agents if you're giving chemotherapy, if you're giving multiple chemotherapy. So I guess that's it. Later, you can just log in at 1 p.m. The exam will be open at 1:30 and at 1:40, mag-preload na kayo ng 1 p.m. Okay, 1:30. 1:40 magsa-start.